Hello, I'm Adam with the Keddish Group at Keller Williams Realty Diamond Partners, and I'm here with Pam today.
Yep.
And we're talking June market numbers. What's been going on in the market? What's good? What's maybe not so good? So
Sure. Yeah.
Tell us.
So here's some market statistics. And as I'm sure many people can imagine, there is a lot of data to compile. So the information's a little bit delayed when it comes out. So we're going to specifically talk about June. Now, of course, if you asked us anything and specific to like a city or a neighborhood or anything, it's something that we can pull up. But overall, for like our what we call multiple listing service or MLS, these are our overall MLS numbers and what they look like from June. So I prepared this for a meeting I had last week, and I really dove into the numbers one evening, and I found some really interesting trends, which is exactly what we have been forecasting all year to tell people, as well as what we have been telling them even just this month. So I've got a lot of good data here. So
great.
Here's what we're seeing. Okay, so what we're going to compare to is June 2020 to June 2021. So in June 2020, our closed sales, our unit count, we had 4,361 homes in the Kansas City Metro MLS that were for sale or that closed. In 21, we had 4,600. So I know that the conversation has been a lot of, oh man, there's not enough houses or we aren't selling as much, this, that, and the other. Well, we've been saying there have actually been a lot more homes that have closed.
Right.
Specifically, you may not have experienced that, or we may be having more trouble finding particular buyers, but there's actually been more units
There's
closed.
still a lot going on in the market.
A lot.
Great.
And I know I'm talking a little fast here, and I apologize. There's just a lot of stuff to get through. Days on market. So in June 2020, on average, our homes would stay on the market for 45 days. In June of 21, they were staying on the market 17 days.
Whew. Which 45 days is fast. Like
45 days is fast because people often ask us, one of the questions they ask when we go to sell a home is, well, how long do you think that my home will take? And, a balanced market is 6 months, and I'll talk more about that. But so it's like, oh, it's a month or two, what have you. We're like, leave this weekend. We'll talk on Sunday with 4 offers, So it's been a different conversation this year for sure.
Okay.
List price to sale price. So in 2020, we were seeing on average, you would get about 98.7% of your sale price to your list price. This year, they were expecting to get 103.2%.
Poof.
Yeah. So if you listed a house for $100,000,
you're going to pay 103.
103 versus 98 before. So,
and again, this is going to vary from neighborhood to neighborhood, community
absolutely,
to community. So
100%.
What we're talking about here is high level stuff.
Overall.
For your specific numbers, we'll dive deep for what represents your neighborhood.
Yes. So for pending sales, we've got June 2020 was 4,729 homes that were pending. In June 21, we had 4,424. So I'm going to go back to this because I've got a lot of thoughts on that and such. But that number is different than what I think a lot of people would expect. So I'm going to go back to that. Supply. Supply is our inventory. This is how we balance whether we're in a this is how we measure if we're in a balanced market.
Right. So supply is, if we stopped listing houses today, how many months can we go before we run out of houses?
Correct. A
based
balanced
on
market,
what's buying
not
today.
necessarily a major buyer's market, not necessarily a seller's market, is considered 6 months. Well, we're at right now, in 2020, we're at 1.8 months. In 21, we were at 0.9, so less than 1 month. It's incredible. So that was a lot of exciting information. But I specifically want to talk about the pending sales, and I apologize, I'm going to be looking down here. So in 2020, we had 4729, and in 21 we had 4424. This is extremely interesting to me because we had less homes that went pending, typically in May. And then inventory, which is a number I hadn't talked about, but our inventory in May 21 was 3,011. Our inventory in June 21 was 3,499. Specifically, what I'm talking about here is we started to see in the market, and we were forecasting, there was a little bit of defeat from buyers. They were like,
exhaustion.
You know what? I want to wait. I'm not going to go that high over list price. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. So there was a little bit of pushback, so to speak, from the buyers of these very over-aggressive sellers. We were forecasting that was going to happen. We started seeing it happen, and now we've got the data to pop. Absolutely, 100%.
So do you see this as an indicator that the market's turning, or is this just a lagging indicator of the churn in the market?
I don't want to say there's a shift like the 2008, 9, 10. 100% no. Not like that. Prices aren't going down. It's nothing like that. It's just that we are not seeing the over-aggression from the buyers in many cases that we were seeing previously. So things are starting to level out just a little bit. Some of it's seasonality, of course. We expected a lot of it. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's happening right now. And it is, as we always say, it's so localized. Call us if you want some specific information as far as what's happening in your area, because, it could be a situation of, hey, look, in this particular area, we're still getting 5-6 offers, or we're going to have to go up against 5 or 6 people. So it's very localized, but that's kind of what we're seeing in a whole.
Awesome. So that's what's happened. Now we're coming through June or July. We're moving into August. Yes. Historically, we've seen a slowdown in August in previous years. Usually that's because school is kind of kicking off and people are preoccupied.
We didn't see a too big of one. We had a lot of delay. In 2020, we experienced a lot of weather delays in getting the spring market up and going. So we didn't see a huge slowdown in August in 2020. I feel like there is going to be a lot of steadiness in August again, just because we had such a crazy spring. There's still a lot of people that need to get into homes. So I feel like we're going to have a pretty busy August, September, and then, of course, going into the fall.
So it's still a great time to buy, still a great time to sell.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome.
So, but call us for your localized information. We'll be happy to provide that to you.
Great. Anything else you want to update us on?
No, honestly, it's a great market out there. I mean, homes are still moving. There's pros and cons to it being the buyer and seller. And it's just something that we'll measure with you. We'll kind of give you the entire picture. And of course, what we're forecasting as well. We'll have in-depth conversations about that and how it can work for your situation or not.
Awesome. Well, there you guys go. That is your June market update from the Keddish Group at Keller Williams Realty. Thank you guys very much. Enjoy your day.